Hi guys, welcome to day 21 of the 60-day DAS Trader Challenge. Today can be summed up in one word, shambolic. Another word, embarrassing. And a third term, lack of discipline. Now, this is really frustrating for me today because, I'm really kind of doing well in this sim and really enjoying it. I'm learning a lot. Things are going well, no doubt about it. But when you have a day like today and you break pretty much all the rules you've set yourself, you get really pissed off yourself. And I have to say, I'm very embarrassed that I have to go through this and show you what I did. It's embarrassing and it's shameful from my own personal perspective because I know I can do so much better than this. And while it doesn't question my abilities as a trader, it does question my discipline and the fact that it's not rigorous enough for me to withstand these little knocks. And this is just a sim. How am I going to do it in the real world if I can't do it in the sim? Maybe it's just one of these things where sometimes we all fall down and then we get back up again and we keep going. Maybe I think it is, but still very frustrating and just really annoying at what I did. So let me show you what I did. Let's bring up the elephant in the room. So let me show you my P&L. I was down $581 at one stage. Now, because I was very determined that I would beat the stock into submission. Now, if this was real money, there's no way in the world. First of all, no way in the world would I have held a position of 1,500 shares pre-market, even though the stock has been strong and going up. And there's a lot of mistakes here. So why don't we just go through them? Okay. So mistake number one is buying pre-market. Now you can classify that as not necessarily being a mistake because of the fact that I've done it before. I'm aware of how the pre-market can trade. And also, you're not talking pre-market at 7, 8, and 9 o'clock in the morning where there's little liquidity and volume. You're talking about literally 9:20 in the morning, which isn't bad. But that still defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do here. And what I'm trying to do in learning the strategy is to give the stock 5 minutes to set up and show me the direction, which is called opening range breakdown or breakout. It's called that for a reason because you're supposed to give it 5 minutes to show you the range. And I didn't do that because I got in way too early. So what was I doing? I was anticipating. Now, our jobs as traders is not to anticipate. Our jobs as traders, as day traders, is to see which of the sellers or buyers have taken control of the stock and following along on their coattails. That's it. We're not there to anticipate, predict, because that gets you into trouble. And that's pretty much what I did. So that's mistake number one, anticipating. I wouldn't treat pre-market as a mistake as such. So trying to predict or forecast the way the stock's going to go, bad move. Second error, size-wise, huge size. Third error, look at all these additions. Look at where I was heading. So I got in. I think I got in here. This was my first entry, right? $26.20 or thereabouts, I think, or maybe it was. Yeah, I think I got these around. I think it was 26.20. And then I just kept averaging down. I bought a further 400 here. I bought another 200 here, and I bought another whatever it was here. And what I was doing was just justifying this in my head that it's going to bounce up. Now it's happened before, right? And that's why it's good that I took this loss. It's very good. It's excellent because it's here to show me that you can't get away with doing stupid things. And very good lesson. And once again, just solidifies that you really shouldn't be averaging down into a losing position because you're basically putting in more shares into a losing position and your loss is just going to get greater and greater and greater, which is what happened here. I actually ended up cutting the loss here at about $26, I think, or 60 or something, for a loss of $581. Now, while I was cutting this loss, I was already in another trade. So that's why I didn't close out for the day because I was already in 1 or 2 trades at that time. So that's the only reason I didn't close out. Otherwise, I would have shut down my platform. I would have let my buddies know that, you know, I've reached max loss of the day, which is 300, and that would have been it. That would have been it for me. But because I was into all the trades that were turning around, and I had some realized gains, I wanted to wait and see how they panned out, and they panned out well. So I don't know, on the one hand, whether today is just, like I said, one of those blips where, we all, we're human, we're fallible. We will make mistakes, whether today's just one of those days where I made one of those rare mistakes, and that, hopefully I'll have a longer trend where I'm not going to be doing that again until the next time I fall and do it again. Because I certainly don't want to be repeating this performance for a long, long time. This is the old Bart. This is how the old Bart used to trade. Just terrible stuff. I also think I've come to the point now in the sim where I've been doing well for some time, and it's been going well, and now I'm beginning to treat this a little bit less seriously than what I should, and I think it's a sign potentially that I should be moving slowly over to real money. I'm not going to be doing it just yet, but I think at the end of next week, if things are going well, I think I'm going to start slowly moving over, which means I'm going to have both platforms open. I'm going to be trading a little bit live in smaller size, and I'm going to continue in the simulator, and then I'm going to transition that slowly away from the simulator into full live trading. But I think that's one of the things that are happening to me now. I think I've become so comfortable doing what I'm doing, and I know that the strategy is solid and it's working, that I think I now have this aura of invincibility, that I can get out of a losing position, which I've done quite a few times now. I don't know whether that's a sign of confidence that I'm doing well, or whether that's sheer luck. I don't have the experience yet to back it up and say, yes, this is you being confident and having the ability to get out, or whether it's just pure luck that it's happened, in these odd occasions, and that's what I think, could be it. So I don't really know. It's either one or the other. I like to think it's my confidence, but then I don't like doing what I see here in front of me, to make up losses. Anyway, moving on. The second trade was a really good one, in stark contrast to this one. Just massive difference. Now here I shorted this bastard of a stock. And I got in here in 3 positions. I think I got 200 shares here, possibly 100 each, or maybe it was even 200, 200, 200. It wouldn't surprise me. My DAS has just closed down. I've literally got this error that it's just crashed on me. So I don't have my actual numbers in front of me just yet, but I think this may have been 600 shares, right? Anyway, I covered here. So my profit, my overall target would have been, actually no, this was my 3rd or 4th trade. My overall profit target for this was this green line. This was my 2nd target, right? The 50-day moving average. The first target was simply the 20-day moving average, which it cleared pretty easily, and then just continued downwards. So this was the 2nd trade. I don't have it written up as I did this one, but this was a really good trade, because if you look at the risk reward, look how close I got in to the VWAP, which is my stop loss, and even got a little bit above the VWAP, which means that my average here would have been quite good. And so, this would have been a nice, I think, 30, 40 cents, even a bit more, because I left a little bit run on the end. Now these 2 trades are really interesting, right? Interesting because I haven't done these before. I don't think I've ever done something like this before. It's basically just a green to red move, right? Pretty simple. You basically anticipate a little bit that the stock is so weak that it's probably going to go red on the day, and then you scalp these. I mean, sometimes it's hard to trade this technically, because the move here could be really volatile, right? There's a lot of support and resistance at this level, so you've got to be a little bit careful as to how you play it. But I decided to get in here, and this was a nice, I don't know, $40, $50 I think down here, maybe even $60. And then I just saw it had a lot more weakness, and then I went for another scalp. So this was just a really nice trade. So 1, 2, 3, excellent. This one, terrible. I'm even thinking of just printing this up and sticking this next to my desk because this is the kind of stuff that you just want to avoid, and you know you don't want to be doing this. So that was QVCA. Now the second one, I traded 3 stocks. The second one was BG&E. Now this was a really strong stock on really good news, and I took a 100 share position at and I think was at $63.35. Now I saw a lot of strength in it. So really my main thesis here was strong stock, good news, good momentum, and it just looked like it was going to carry on. Now, obviously, I didn't see any of this stuff, right? I mean, this stuff wasn't visible to me at all. All I saw was basically, well, actually, this candle. So, for all intents and purposes, it could have broken down, but it just felt right. You know, sometimes maybe it's something I'm picking up, but it just felt right. It had that strength meant to carry it through, and it was a good trade. I mean, hindsight, I mean, it's gone way higher. But I just held on for a little bit. Now, I held through a little bit pain here as well. So this is the other thing I'm a little bit pissed off at myself, that I didn't actually stick to my stop loss here. So today, as you can see, just, yeah, coming unstuck a little bit. You know, my 9-day average was my stop loss at, I think it was $62 or thereabouts. Now, I actually held through to 61.50. So I let it go another 50 cents below my stop loss. Now, the thing is, I was only holding 100 shares, right? But where I got in, which was 63.35, and my stop loss, that's already $1.35 away. That is already $135 loss if it goes to your maximum. And by adding another 50 cents to it, you're basically saying, all right, you know, $50 plus 135, you know, $185 loss is potentially what I'm allowing on this trade. Which is pretty risky, right? Pretty risky. But anyway, it worked out. So I sold as it crossed over $64. And the last trade was LB. LB here. Okay, you're right. Revenge mode. Okay, so I'm happy with the size I took, which was revenge mode to clawback. Right. So after I finished QVCA and I had that minus $581 loss, obviously I'm in revenge mode now, right? I'm this trader that's just looking for the next big thing, and I'm going to go absolutely nuts on it. And that's a very bad attitude to have, because that's very emotional, and you're not going to be thinking clearly, and clearly you're not going to be disciplined because it's just emotionally driven. And that's what happened here. I took a really big size here of 1,000 shares. I mean, I'm shaking my head at this now because I can't believe the audacity and the risk I took to make up this loss. And it worked. You know, I ended up getting to my target and ended up, you know, making a decent profit of almost $500, and that got me out of the hole, and put me green on the day. But overall, guys, just a really embarrassing day. And the only consolation that I could possibly get out of it today is that I managed to come out from behind into a really good, profitable day with only 3 stocks traded, and I think it was 32 executions, which is within the limit. So the end result, good, but the process of getting there, you know, one of these things is, you know, it was very just very loose today. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to upload my trades into the journal. I'll have a look at and see how things are looking. I will most likely then start to think about funding my live account again, switching it back on again, and I'll be watching to see how I personally go tomorrow, which is Friday, and then all of next week. So that's it for today. Hope you guys have learned a little bit about how not to trade, especially after a loss, and you know, hopefully you've been able to pick up 1 or 2 little tidbits from it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.